he said number 34, neglecting raising the kids in an Islamic correct way. And this is, of course, a very big issue. A lot of people now these days, or of course, a lot of the mothers, they do not give a great care to raising their kids. Maybe they will send them to if they live in in a non-Muslim country, so they will send them to that يعني, school and so. And I've seen here, I've seen women, Muslim mothers, wallahi al sending their kids to Christian schools where they pray the Christian prayers, and they يعني have images of Jesus, يعني in their view, يعني they have images of him, and they say, well, عياذ بالله, that he is the son of God and so on. All of that. And the Muslim mothers, they send their kids there, and they pick them, and they pick them up there and so on, and they don't care, right? Yani as an example, I remember a long time ago, yani, I saw this. There was like 3 or 4 kids or so. So basically, the place where I live, there's like a Christian, yani, like a kindergarten or so. So I would see Muslim women sending their kids there, and it's like, they have like crosses there and so. Allah musta'an. He said, and so not caring about raising the kids in an Islamic manner. And of course, one thing that we have spoken about as well, and I recommend to go back to my lecture titled "The Secret War on your Iman." We talked about this issue of how the ummah is, sorry, how the kuffar are trying to fight us, trying to enter ideas into our minds, spread ideas into our minds, spread the ideas of kufr and shirk, and ideas that are taken from the kuffar, like feminism and so on, trying to spread them in between the Muslims. And if and if a mother doesn't care about her kids, doesn't raise them in a correct Islamic way, and is not aware of these things, then the kids here, wallah musta'an, they could easily go to a very bad path. طيب. And all of this could have been prevented, يعني بإذن الله عز وجل, if their mothers would have taken care of raising them in a correct Islamic way. طيب. He said also from this, an example to this is that some mothers don't, or some mothers neglect uh, buying Islamic clothes. Yani, as an example, for her daughter or so, you'll find her go and buy like short dresses and so. And then after that, she's mad at why her daughter, when she is older or so, why she doesn't want to wear the proper Islamic clothes. طيب, you were the one who, bought her shorts and short dresses and skirts and so on. Why are you now shocked about her, subhanallah, not wanting to wear the proper Islamic clothes, and so, right? And also, this could also be if you have a son, yani, if you have a son and you go and buy for him clothes like a jersey of like kafir soccer players, or you buy them t-shirts with words that you don't understand or that he doesn't understand, or sometimes even things that have shirk or so on them, without you being aware of that aslan, right? These are all very common things. And most football or soccer jerseys, they have crosses on them. طيب. يعني if you look at, as an example, the logo of Barcelona or so, you find, that they have the cross on there. The same thing with uh, Madrid, and so you'll find they have this cross at the top, right? And يعني one of the إخوة يعني جزاه الله جزاه الله خيرا, he يعني told me about this. طيب, this is a very important thing to be aware of when buying clothes for your kids يعني. If it's a boy, then maybe don't get him shirts with insults on them, or shirts of jerseys of kafir soccer teams, right? Number one. And number two, if it's a girl, then maybe don't get her the shortest skirt you can find when she's 6. طيب, and if you do that, then don't be shocked why she doesn't want to wear proper clothes after that. طيب, والتي تحمل كلمات أجنبية قد تكون ضد الإسلام وكذلك إقامة بعض ما يحتفلون. And also, yeah, also he said birthdays, doing birthdays for the kids. طيب, all of these are things that we should should not be done يعني, that we in Islam should not do. طيب, and also he said a lot of sisters يعني taking it easy in their kids not performing prayers on time, right? Because it's like, yeah, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam told us to tell them to pray when they are 7, and to uh, and to and to and to hit them if they don't pray when they are 10. But even before that, yani, of course you don't need to, but obviously it is better if you do tell them to pray, or if you do teach them to pray. And first, when they're young, you show them, maybe not take them with you to the mosque, because that could lead to them running around bumping into people, especially if they're young or so, right? But I mean, just making them يعني comfortable with prayers, seeing your pray, especially for the أخوات يعني, your daughter or your son, they will see you pray at home. طيب, فيو يعني teach them how important this is. طيب, teach them what this is, teach them what you are saying, and so. And for the father, take them to the mosque afterwards. And a lot of masajid, they have like a special time for kids, for kids to learn, right? So if it's a Sunni mosque and you know the sheikh and so on, you can take them يعني, or if your local mosque does not offer that, then go to the sheikh and tell him to do that, maybe to have like a special time for the kids to gather, learn about Islam, learn about prayer and so on, just so they just so we can يعني gather between the issue of, number one, not disturbing people that are praying, but number two, still making the kids learn about prayer, making the kids learn about the mosque, right? Now, these are all things, I understand that a lot of people, they don't they don't pay attention to doing these in a correct way. Plus, he also said, also taking some sins that they do at a young age. Obviously, they're not held accountable for it because they're still kids. But I mean, even at a young age, you need to make them used to that. They don't lie, that they always say the truth, and so on. That they, you know, all of that they don't steal. I recall when I was a kid, I would steal pens from my classmates and so and so on. فسبحان الله, uh, 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 يعني when the teachers would see me do that, or so, they would always tell me that this is something that you should not do, and so. And this is how you treat kids. It's not that you scream at him, that you do as if he just broke your or as if he just burned down a house, but rather if you see him steal a pen or so, maybe he doesn't understand that this is that big of a deal. Maybe he thinks that this is okay. Maybe he saw a bad example. So I'm just saying this to remind you يعني to be uh, uh, gentle يعني with your kids يعني or so on, because even if you if you go extreme on them, you could يعني هذا you could scare them away from you, so that next time maybe they will not feel comfortable with you, or they will feel scared around you, right? uh رحمة الله عليه. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. بارك الله فيكم. طيب, and يعني if you could lies or so, tell him why he shouldn't do it. And as we said, يعني if you have a mosque or so, tell them يعني if they could يعني make like weekly classes or so, where they speak about, or where the sheikh يعني speaks about small issues in the deen, that basically so that the kids يعني can learn about them, that we shouldn't lie, that we should يعني that we shouldn't steal, as an example, that we يعني teaching them prayer and so on. All of these are good ideas for kids to understand, for kids to learn يعني. طيب, فالله يبارك فيكم. I know this was a little longer than the usual episodes from this series, but Allah المستعان, may Allah Azza wa Jal benefit us through this.